Feel free to check out my TeePublic after the video, and support me on Patreon. Watch till the end of the video for more. After working on Mobile Suit Gundam, director Yoshiyuki Tomino wanted to work on yet another mecha series. One that would heavily focus on the effects of war to a greater extent than Gundam. One that placed more emphasis on the trials of hardship the main characters have to endure. One about a giant, sentient robot that happens to be omnipotent, caught in the struggle between two factions engaged in an intergalactic war. This is Space Runaway Ideon. Space Runaway Ideon is about a war between two races of humans, and as a consequence of their conflict, a giant machine and warship are unearthed. The Solo colonists use it as a means to try and win the war, while the Buff clan plots to use it to take over the galaxy, because they know about its immense power. But there's a catch. Remember when I said that the Ideon was sentient? It does not conform to either side, as it purely acts on its own terms. What lies within the Ideon is a powerful energy source called the Ide, housed within the colossal mech, as it grants it awesome and insanely destructive capabilities. We mainly follow the adventures of the Solo colonists, mostly a young man with perhaps the greatest afro in the galaxy, Cosmo Yuki, well, second to Tron Travolta, but that's not a bad spot, who is the main pilot of the Ideon, along with Kasha and Dek, who pilot the other two components that form the robot. Bess Jordan, who obviously isn't designed to look like Luke Skywalker, is the captain of the Solo colonists, who eventually forms a star-crossed relationship with former Buff clanner Karla. Then there's Cheryl, and if you want to see how Ideon portrays the effects war can have, hoo boy, then definitely focus on her character, because as the series progresses, the conflict starts to take a serious toll on her, as she desperately tries to understand the Ide and its incomprehensible power. Overall, Ideon's got a great cast of characters, as they're all memorable and just intriguing to watch. Hell, even the villains have some good moments. But of course, I have to bring up the one thing this anime is about, being the Ideon itself. It was designed by Yuichi Higuchi, and Higuchi did a fantastic job with his design. While Ideon isn't quite as large as other popular mecha, there's a great emphasis on the design's proportions that make it absolutely imposing and just screams power, some cases being literal. There's a very unsettling. Also, get a load of this redesign by Gundam's Makoto Kobayashi. Jeez. Ulted was eventually wiped out, which leaves several burning questions that are left unanswered within a single machine. Or better yet, how and why did this civilization tracks these people to try and claim it for personal gain, as it indirectly coerces whoever is fighting for it to commit mutual self-destruction, essentially reincarnating humanity. It's what makes Ideon so special, as it makes great use of playing on the fear. And once these characters finally do understand Ideon and its motives, they all being inevitable destruction. And god damn, that's a lot to take in for what appears to be a very colorful and action-packed mecha anime. The writing and directing for Ideon is just absolutely superb. The characters are all unique, Ideon is just so goddamn awesome, and the scoring by Koichis the complete series on Blu-ray, emphasis on the word can, but it is 20. There's also the compilation film titled The Ideon, A Contact, that combines the first 32 of the 39 episode series into a single feature. But for the full experience, biggest influence for Hideaki Anno's Neon Genesis Evangelion aside from Ultraman, but its mark on the mecha genre will forever be remembered. In fact, it is Ideon that gave Tomino the nickname Kill 'Em All Tomino. And to see why, then tune in next time for when I review the ending to Space Runaway Ideon in the form of a feature film titled The Ideon Be Invoked. And by the way, if you like what you see, then go support me on Patreon, where you can get early access to videos, receive updates, behind the scenes content, commission video requests, and receive a t-shirt of your choice from my TeePublic. Once I reach enough patrons, I'll review the hit anime Neon Genesis Evangelion, so if that's something you'd like to see, then go support me on Patreon. I mean, I'm getting pretty close to that goal, so having another patron wouldn't hurt. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and this is Titan Goji, signing off.